Sponsored by rxcardclub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 85% on prescription drugs. rxcardclub.com, best bets and expert advice for Doncasters St. Leger Festival, Day 3. Day 3 of the St. Leger meeting is the big one, featuring the classic itself along with a host of classy supporting races. A field of 7 will line up for the St. Leger at 3.40, while there are also a couple of Group 2s on the card in the Champagne Stakes for 2-year-olds, 1.50, and Park Stakes over the same 7-furlong trip. Our expert, Clive Gildon, has a trio of selections on the ITV races at Doncaster, including in the big one. The Portland Handicap is a fast and furious race that will be over in little more than a minute. It is over the unusual distance of 5.5 furlongs, and the slight drop in trip could make all the difference to cover up. This 4-year-old took off on the all-weather early in the year, with his win at Newcastle in February being particularly strong form. He contested top 6-furlong handicaps on his last 3 starts and each time has suggested he wants a bit less emphasis on stamina. He travelled best in the Stewards Cup at Goodwood 2 runs ago, and last time at York had to wait for a run behind horses. He got out, threatened, and still had time to fade away. Doncaster is kinder to horses played late, which is something else in cover-up's favour aside from the trip. 1500 hours Doncaster, Lake Forest. The Park Stakes centres on Kinross, who won this race in his Annus mirabilis in 2022. He is 7 now and has looked like age might be catching up with him. He has not come close to his best in 3 runs so far. On form this year, Poet Master and Lake Forest lead the way. The latter has the advantage of last move, as he has not yet run over this 7-furlong trip, which promises to suit him well. Lake Forest came from a hopeless second to finish second in the 6-furlong Commonwealth Cup at Royal Ascot. He pulled a similar trick in the Hackwood Stakes last time over the same trip. He goes up in distance now and is expected to improve again for it. 1540 Doncaster, You Got To Me. Give me £50,000 and I would spend it on an extension for my house. You Got To Me's owners have spent the same money on adding her to the St. Leger field via a supplementary fee, which is the expensive buy-in option for horses who weren't entered for certain big races at the first time of asking. It may seem a more frivolous purchase, but with nearly £80,000 going to the third-placed horse it should easily prove to be a wise investment. You Got To Me might even cop the £421,000 first prize. This is not a strong St. Leger. Aidan OBrien thinks he can sweep it up with his C team. Illinois, Jan Brueghel and Grosvenor Square would all be expected to play second fiddle to City of Troy or Los Angeles. You Got To Me burst onto the scene when winning the Irish Oaks in July and has since enhanced her reputation by finishing second in the open-age Yorkshire Oaks. She stays on like this longer trip will suit, and she gets a £3 weight allowance from the colts.